Hello everybody, this is JD again. Actuality, this is just to tell you what or who are JD. Why JD? Truth of the matter is, yes, I'm JD. Born in Brooklyn, New York, June 4th, 1948. My father's name was Cecile Ellsworth Crevaux. My mother's name was Lorraine Barbara Fester Crevaux. Check it out. It's there, June 4th, 1948, Brooklyn, New York. Okay, what is this video about? It's just about me. Why me? What makes me different than all the other presidential candidates? I don't know. One, I didn't set out to be a congressman, a senator, a politician, or even to run for president. That was never a goal in my life. It's just happening step by step. The experiences I've had, yes, I have been involved in world politics for many, many years. Unfortunately, not the way the politicians have been. Being in the Navy kind of put me right there in the front lines. Everything that happened, everything, step by step, involved me directly. One way or the other. Either the how as I worked, or where I was, or where I went, or what I did. So, many times I've been, now being in the Navy, also been around the world many times through my deployments. And I've met people inside these very nations. I know who's our allies, I know who's our friends. I know who says to be our allies that aren't, and who says to be our friends that are only there because it only is in their favorable interest. They're not really friends. There are people or governments that use us and completely use us for what we have, not for what we are. I'm also a person who understands and why the Iraqi government is right now failing. The people in Iraq are not Iraqis. They are Shiites and they are Sunnis and all that. They do not understand the separation of church and state. And therefore their government is floundering because they do not have the one thing that we have, and that is an American first then. And they do not understand the separation of soul and body. Though we are together, soul and body, we are not. What kind of experiences have I had? I've known what it's like to go on hungry. I know what it's like to not have food. I know what it's like to work for everything you got. I know what it's like to plan and have things you planned for totally destroyed. I know what it's like to sit at the dinner table and watch your kids eat, and hopefully they leave something so that you have something left to eat. If they don't, well, that's the way life is. Money only goes so far. I am the average American male. That's all I am. I haven't been to any fancy colleges, and I've had some college courses, but over the span of years they don't count because they've been too long. It's funny how you can go to college and 30 years later, if you have a degree, it's still good, but you go to college and you take courses 15, 20 years later, they don't count no more. But bottom line is, no, I'm not a privileged individual. No, I'm not a politician. No, I do not speak politically correct. I speak straightforward. If you can't take the truth, then don't bother listening. That's another thing. I truly believe in the truth. I'm not going to turn somebody away who seeks the truth. All I ask them is, while seeking the truth, be willing to accept the truth as whatever it is, for I am. And I am looking for the truth, not just something else. That's why I will never turn away a truther. I don't care what they say or what they accuse. Looking for the truth will still find the truth. And if anyone of you would be openly enough, listen to what they use for their argument. They do have a very convincing argument. So we need to find the actual truth. Also, I'm a person who believes in you, the individual. And I believe in our country. Someone said, the Constitution was good for when it was written, but now we can do much better. My answer to him is, if anybody could do much better, then why haven't they yet? Not a single country throughout the world has come up with a better constitution for their nation than we have right now. And there must be a reason for that. Ask yourself that. Why hasn't any nation yet in the whole wide world come up with a better constitution than the United States of America? Go figure. Our politicians today couldn't write one. Imagine how many volumes it would be. Heck, just to write our preamble, they would probably have enough volumes to fill an encyclopedia. Just the preamble. Never mind getting on to what the executive branch will do. Then you got the legislative branch, and then you got the judicial branch. Before they even get to the Bill of Rights and the other amendments, they would fill up a library from end to end. No, I'm not a politician. I'm not a what of, if of, for what. I'm a person that if I get into the White House, elected by you, I'm going to listen to you because you are the ones that I need to listen to, no one else, because you're the ones who voted me in. I have no care for big money. I have no care for these people that say, oh, I will contribute, but I want. No, I'm sorry. There is no such thing. I will not accept that. All I will do is turn you down. Say, sorry, I cannot accept those terms because I cannot make those promises. I've already done it a couple of times. A few people out there know that. So bottom line is, what am I? I was a working man that's been laid off, who's now helping my wife to start a store, and I am an individual collecting my Navy retirement, my disability, and Social Security, which just barely makes me able to meet everything. If we didn't have the store, we'd be sitting pretty, but the store is really eating up a lot because right now it's doing everything but costs. It costs, and it hasn't brought in anything. Like, costs over $2,000 a month and is bringing in maybe $100. And I continue on. I'm like you, a hard worker. I'm not like you people whose houses went into foreclosure, though I have been very close to that because of my first wife. Believe me, my first wife had an expression or internal feelings. If I carry a checkbook, I have checks in it, I can write checks. Unfortunately, she never had the money to cover it. Almost lost everything we had. Thank God that everybody worked with me, and I seriously mean, thank God. After she left me, I found out how bad it really was, and it was very bad. They were on the verge of shutting off the electricity, shutting off the water, shutting off the gas, shutting off everything. The telephone, the whole 9 yards was at the verge of being shut off because they haven't been paid for over 3-4 months. She hadn't paid them. She made out the checks every month. I seen the checks, but put them in the envelope, put stamps on it, but then she tore them up and threw them away. And took the money out of our checking account and put it in her own private account. Yep, that's what she used to leave me with. That's what happens when you trust people too much. Especially those who say one thing and doing the other. All I could say is, the only thing I am is like you. A person. Educated, with a lot of experience. Has been a leader many times throughout his life. Has not shirked from the responsibility of duty, and has succeeded at everything he attempted, including fixing a lot of problems. Will I succeed at this one? I believe so. But it's not me that counts, it's you. So you have your choice now. You can go with a politician or go with an average, everyday American who's experiencing the same things that you have experienced and know what it's like and has ways to fix all our problems. Not each and every one will be done in the first year, second year, third year, fourth year, but we will be going in the right direction. Also, a man who believes in the Constitution as it is written. Doesn't believe I have the choice to follow one or the other, because if I accept the Constitution, I must accept the Constitution as is written. And that I'm a servant of the people, not a ruler. That means I listen to you all the time. Not when it's convenient, and when I don't want to, I'll just go off my own way. No, I'm sorry, but you're the ones that matter. Probably the most important thing of all, though, as president, I'm going to ask myself on every single thing, how is it going to affect you at home and your family? That above all else, because I know how it has affected me throughout my life. So this is just a brief synopsis of what JD is. Listen, tell me what you think, And if you say, hey, that's not the qualifications for president, you tell me what in the world qualifies someone to be president of the United States of America, to be the president, to serve the people, lead the country, a nation of we the people, by the people, for the people. If you can answer that question, you're better than anybody else in the whole wide world, because there is no answer. Thank you. This is JD.